The Barnstable Youth Commission held its 4th annual 7th grade Youth Summit on Friday, March 16th. Barnstable Intermediate School students convened at Cape Cod Community College for an all-day event, which included peer leadership sessions, interactive lectures on how to cope with stress and peer pressure, and a vendor fair in the cafeteria. We spoke with Caleb Sonneven, Vice Chair of the Barnstable Youth Commission, and others about the importance of an event like this, challenges students face, and ways everyone can get involved to impact change.
We view this as a critical time for 7th graders. So as they're moving into high school, they'll experience a lot of new things. Barnstable is a little different from most school systems as we have 8th graders moving to high school. So we definitely view it as a critical time to kind of show them what they might be experiencing in the high school and give them opportunities and help they can receive in the high school and beyond. Here at the moment we have several care facilities here, as well as high schoolers that they can act as resources when they're in the high school. And we have people who will kind of give them a little bit of insight as to what they may or may not experience in the high school.
I'm going to make sure I'm drama free and make sure I have a good community around me.
Pretty much all the youth in this area to get an opportunity to learn and see some of the actual consequences of some actions. Like choose who you want to surround yourself with and make the right decision. Probably like read people more, like see how they act and see like if they're the right people to surround myself with.
I feel like it's really important because we get to learn about drug abuse and how to cope with it and how to understand, because it's not just don't do drugs. We can understand really more about it. We saw that peer pressure was used a lot, and they taught us how to kind of cope with peer pressure and how to just not just follow everybody and go your own path.
Like media and other influencers, they make our decisions kind of, and it's good to know what you like and what your decisions are.
The biggest challenge for them is life in general. What I mean by that is, they have, and I'll use an example, when I was younger, didn't have social media, didn't have cell phones, didn't have all this outside stuff, and we were kids, and we grew up, we had fun, that's what it's all about. Now it's almost like a competition, you gotta be better than the next person, at such a young age. But it shouldn't be like that. Kid needs to be a kid and have fun and grow up, but because of social media, they see all this stuff that, I got to be better than that, or I got to be like this. There's a lot of more pressure on younger kids. That's the biggest challenge. How do we help that? Well, as adults, we got to put them on the right path and teach them, hey, be you. Be yourself. You don't have to be the next person. You don't have to do everything everybody else is doing. That's just social media. It's not real. Just continue to be who you are and be true to yourself, because in the long run, as you get older, the only one that's going to help you really is you. So there's people in the community, and such a great community we have here in the Cape, that there's people out there that care. Adults, and more than their parents, whether it's the police, the school, which is huge, it's been huge in this, and also just people, a little bit older, high school kids are there for them, and it's somebody else to reach out to. Because a lot of kids, it's mom and dad. I don't want to talk to the police officer because they're scary. But by us being here and by other people being here, it's not so scary. It's making it a little bit easier for them. Like Officer Brian or, Officer Sonbet or Officer Johnson, they're not too bad to go talk to. They're just regular people doing a job. So it's the biggest thing they're getting out of this. It's just that there's knowledge, first of all, of the dangers of drugs, and it's not all glorified like they see on social media and on television, that there's real danger to it. And the other thing, that there's people out there to help them.
Having an event like this really helps give the kids a sense of community, so they're able to find out that, sometimes their thoughts, they're not alone. So now we're able to see certain similarities. And also, I think the main purpose is that we're able to give them the tools that they need to help making smart choices. I think when it comes to don't do drugs and that kind of thing, that's great. But when you're dealing with life, it's like, what's the alternative? So now we have to look at giving those types of skills, coping skills, things like that. So that way when they are in certain situations, they know how to make the best choice for them. I think from here, when they leave, they need to be proud of who they are and what they're doing, and then what type of steps are they going to go back to their school to help show other students that they're making the right choices and to get other people to buy in. That's how you can make that change.
I think a lot of the challenges are a lot of peer pressure. We've always had peer pressure, but it's that level of where do I fit in, and just nobody wants to talk to me, or I'm on my phone. So the social skills are deplenished. It's like it's just not as strong as it was because nobody else communicate. The parents aren't talking to the kids got their own, and we're all guilty of being on the phones and doing little words with friends or trying to communicate with each other, and you don't realize it, but next thing you know, your kid's in bed. And then you go to bed. You get up in the morning and you keep going. So it's like you have to put that time aside and just talk to your kids and find out what their day's like, what their likes are. And maybe you'll find out some more stuff about yourself that you didn't realize also. Communication is huge. There are outreach programs. There's different places that they can go and talk to, or just, some kids might want to do sports, so we have to flag football, and the parents are like, no, violent, but it's not about that. It's just getting them out into the community and getting them to learn a little bit more about themselves and stuff that they didn't realize they could do.
I think number one, it shows how much the town of Barnstable cares for its youth. When you've been in education as long as I have, 34 years, I've gone to my share of funerals of students who've died of overdoses, students who've died in drunk driving car accidents. I've gone to over 20 funerals in my 34 years, and I think an opportunity like this is so that younger teachers than I do not have to go to these funerals, that we care so much about these kids. We're trying to make it clear the potholes in the road up ahead. I think in today's world, you see students dealing with so many people in their own sphere who are wrestling with addiction, that these students need support to know they're not alone, to know how to handle the pressures they're faced with, to know how to avoid some of these temptations that could be coming their way. Some of these students, they know the score, but they also need to know ways to push on through. Everyone knows there are sad times in this world, but there's also so much good in this world. Good people, good experiences, futures that are worth living, and that's what these students have to always keep in mind, that no matter how tough the present could be for some of them, the future could just be beautiful.